recording. Okay, here we go for the next part because my laptop crashed, and so we just got back up. So now we're going to be going back to finish these last videos. Okay, so here we go on ALGV Pro, and we're going to continue where we left off, contracted groups.
Larger groups that want a more structured approach. Contracted groups are great for all types of groups that'll need 10 or more rooms. These tend to be ideal for destination weddings, corporate events and incentive trips, large family reunions, radio come-alongs, and much more. While our Groupies program is available through all 6 of our vacation brands, Contracted Groups is available through the 4 brands that ALG Vacations owns. That's Apple, FunJet, Blue Sky, and Travel Impressions. They're ideal for groups traveling to Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, Hawaii, or Las Vegas. We tend to have the best groups partnerships with all-inclusive resorts, so our program is a little limited when it comes to overseas destinations or domestic travel, except for Hawaii and Vegas. We work with you every step of the way to make sure your group is accommodated in the best way possible. There are several benefits to going the contracted route, and they really hit the nail on the head for groups that are looking for more organization. We'll lock in pricing for the life of the group. This means that pricing remains constant for all reservations, regardless of what the market does. We'll also block air and/or hotel inventory for your group. This assures that rooms and air seats are reserved for everyone in the party. There's no worry about inventory selling out. Another big advantage is that you don't need to know who's participating in the trip when the contract is signed. You can have an idea of the number of travelers, but a name list doesn't need to be prepared in order to get everything organized and planned. Oftentimes, contracted groups are eligible for some great concessions, like comped air seats or hotel rooms, based on the number of travelers or number of nights booked. Low deposits on your group's reservations is always a big hit, plus flexible policies ensure that your group is in good hands if things change or modifications need to take place. Best of all, we put the group's reservations in your hands. You get a customized group dashboard in Vax, where you'll book and manage all the reservations within the group. Let me show you the overall process so you can get a wide lens view of the contracted group life cycle. Then we'll take a closer look at each of the steps. Let's say we have a group of 20 travelers requiring 10 rooms going to Cancun for a destination wedding. A contracted group program would be a perfect fit for them. We'll start by requesting a quote. You can do this right in Vax. It's an easy online request form. Our quote will be turned around within just a few days. After you review the quote with your group, and of course your group's going to love it, it's time to request a contract. You'll get details and guidance in the quote for requesting a contract. Review the contract with your clients and then sign it. We use DocuSign, an easy electronic process. A deposit will also be required at time of signing. Within a few days, a customized dashboard is created for your group in Vax. All of your group's inventory and payment information is loaded here, and this is where you'll build, book, and manage your reservations. You'll also get a designated team of specialists to assist you when you need support. Like I mentioned, we're here to help. Let's walk through the process of beginning with a quote. Before requesting a quote, you'll want to have a conversation with your clients about their travel requirements. Let's go ahead and log into our favorite brand website. For this example, let's request a quote from Travel Impressions. I'll find an online quote request within the Agent Resources menu. Using this online request is the easiest and fastest way to get a quote. It's connected to our automation and instantly launches to the hotel for fast turnaround. You can expect your quote returned within as few as 2 business days, but it may take longer if you're requesting a hotel that may not be regularly booked through ALGV or is a smaller boutique-type hotel. The request will ask which type of group travel we're interested in, and in this case we want a quote for a contracted group. For the group name, we'll want to select something that helps us identify the group. This could be your client's last name and the date, the occasion and the date, or any naming convention that'll help you keep organized. For this example, I'm going to pick Socially Distance Under the Sun with Groups. Don't ask, it's the name of the example quote I have. Now I'll fill in the travel details. Keep in mind that if you don't have the exact number of travelers yet, that's okay. We just entered 20 thinking that we'll meet our 10-room minimum with double occupancy. You can make any miscellaneous notes regarding rooming or any other details at the bottom of the form. For the package type, we'll select Hotel plus ENVF. About 80% of contracts are hotel only, and this is because reservations are typically booked so far in advance for this type of group that most air isn't available yet. Flights tend to become available about 310 days out from departure, and you can always add air to the contract later via our group service request. It's also important to point out here that we ask you to give us at least one hotel choice that would suit your client's needs. Once your form is complete, click Submit and you're on your way. Your quote will arrive within a few business days. Now, don't pay too much attention to the dates that are listed on here. We just used this example for demonstration purposes, but you get the idea. Our quote will include pricing for all the package components I requested. It'll also include the terms and conditions and information about comps or concessions. Now, comps or concessions are free or complimentary items that you could earn for your group. They could be special amenities, room upgrades, comped rooms or air seats, hotel credits, and more. Comps can also be taken as commission. One important highlight to mention here: take a look at the hotel pricing. In this example, we have pricing for 3 different room categories with single, double, and triple occupancy. It's important to note that the pricing is per person. Be aware of that before telling your clients that 2 guests can stay for 3 nights in the Allure Junior Suite for $636. That's actually the per person price, so the total would be $1,272. Now, if everything looks good with your quote, you're ready to move on to requesting a contract. Follow the guidance in the final section of your quote for moving the group to contract. The contract will be delivered to you electronically via DocuSign. You, as the agent, will sign the contract. You'll notice that your group is now assigned a group ID and a payment reservation has been created. Because a deposit is due at time of signing, you'll log into VAX and apply the deposit to the payment reservation, just like you would apply payment to any other reservation you make for a client. Retrieve the reservation in VAX and then click the Add Payment tab in the Itinerary Tools section. Approximately 48 hours after we apply a deposit to our group, our dashboard will be set up and ready for us to use in VAX. Now, this is the hub for all of your inventory, payments, and reservations. To pull up our dashboard from VAX's homepage, click on Groups in the top navigation bar. Then we'll enter our ALG Vacation brand and group ID. And of course, we can navigate right to our dashboard as well. Join us in the next module where we'll take an in-depth tour of the dashboard and walk through booking reservations within your group. For now, I'll just point out a few highlights. Our group name and ID, along with travel dates, are right at the top of the page. Our group will work with one dedicated team that will provide support and service when needed. Contact details for your team are right here. If you need to modify reservations within your group, adjust inventory, or just have questions, you'll go to this team. Pay attention to the important dates to remember. This tells us when our attrition and cancellation date is, and when important payments need to be made. The attrition and cancellation date lets us know when our last day is to make room changes. Once this date arrives, any changes may incur penalties. You can see here that this date fluctuates depending on the size of the group. Once we're under penalty, without Travel Protection Plus, a certain percentage is held by the hotel. Each hotel is a little different, so you'll want to ask your group service team if you have questions. The booking engine on this dashboard is where we'll book every reservation for this group. It has all the travel components preloaded according to the contract. This is also connected to the group's inventory, so it'll track who's booked, what inventory has been sold, and what inventory remains. All that info is tracked to the tab section on the dashboard here. This is our main group service center. The tabs along the top track our reservations, inventory, commission, and payment transfers. We'll talk about all of that in the next module. When you need assistance from our service team, you're always welcome to reach out via phone or email. But we introduced a new online form that will expedite service when needed. A link to the form is conveniently available right in your dashboard. It's easy to complete and will be launched right to a person who can take quick action on your request. Make this form your go-to when you need assistance. Now that our contract is signed and our dashboard is set, we're ready to start booking. Follow me to the next module for a closer look at the group's dashboard. We'll walk through the booking process and look at managing your inventory and payments.
Okay, next. And next. Select all that apply. Contracted groups are available through which of these brands? Blue Sky Tours, Travel Impressions, Funjet Vacations, Apple Vacations, or Southwest Vacations?
All but Southwest.
Correct. After requesting a quote, your quote will arrive within a few business days. True or false?
True.
Okay. The attrition and cancellation dates let us know when our last day to make room changes. Once this date arrives, any changes may incur penalties. True or false?
True.
Okay. All right. Exit course. 2 more, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, just your contracted groups dashboard and expert tips for closed-end sales.
And I just hope there's not a final exam. Okay, your contracted groups dashboard.
Your group's dashboard is the command center of your contracted group's reservations. This dashboard is completely unique to your group and is built in VAX within a couple days after your contract is signed and deposit is received. You'll receive an email letting you know when your dashboard's ready to go. There are a couple ways to access your dashboard in VAX. From the home page of your brand's anchor store, click on the groups link and then enter your group ID. You'll find your group ID at the top of your contract. You can also access your dashboard through the Master Payment Reservation. Click Existing Reservations or Retrieve Reservations at the top of the page. Enter the payment reservation number or search for the reservation by entering any criteria on the right. Can't remember your res number? Don't forget, it's right here at the top of your contract if you need it. This brings up your payment reservation where you applied your group's deposit. In the pricing panel, there's a link with your group's name. Just click this link to open your dashboard. Your dashboard contains all the details of your contract. Here at the top, you'll find your group ID and departure dates, followed by your hotel information. The group details section contains contact info to your dedicated group service team. You'll work with this same team throughout the life of your group, so you can build a rapport with them and they'll be familiar with the needs of your group. The booking engine on this page is loaded with your contracted inventory. You'll want to book all reservations for this group here in your dashboard. This ensures you select the contracted hotel and room categories, as well as the applicable travel dates. Now, most contracted groups only have a hotel contracted, but your clients can always include air with their reservation. The package type drop-down allows you to select a hotel only or flight plus hotel package. When air is included, you'll be picking live, published, or bulk air from VAX. This typically isn't a contracted component. Keep in mind that selecting bulk air gives you up to 5% commission for a little boost to your earnings. We'll want to pay close attention to our important dates, listed here below the group details. These are your cancellation and attrition dates, and you'll notice that these change depending on the size of the group. Attrition is how many rooms you may need to drop from the contract. So as your clients book, if you have inventory that you know you won't need, you'll want to give those rooms back to the hotel before the attrition date to avoid penalty. The hotel will simply absorb those rooms back into their general inventory and your clients won't have to pay for them. You'll notice that this section also tells you when final payment is due. Our final section is this tab section, our True Command Center. All the reservations you book for this group are organized within the Reservations tab. Your Master Payment Reservation is available at the top. This is where you apply deposit when the contract was signed. Now, for demo purposes, we don't have any money on this reservation, but any money applied toward the group would display here. I can open each reservation by clicking on the res number. I can send a payment request email right from here too, so your clients can easily apply payment to their own reservation right through an email you send them. Here I can also see the status of the reservations, the package booked, travel dates, as well as pricing and payment details. The Inventory tab houses all of my contracted inventory. I can see which room categories I have reserved and how many of each are available or sold. So, if we look at the Allure Junior Suite, I have 3 rooms total reserved between December 4th and December 8th. One of these rooms is already sold between December 4th and December 7th, which means I have 2 available rooms remaining in this category for those nights. If ENVF Air is contracted, you'll also see availability grids for that as well. The Commission tab keeps track of your commission earnings per booking. Keep in mind that you always have the ability to set your own commission for group bookings. Remember, setting your own commission allows you to increase the amount of commission, and you'll find this tool within the Booking Administration button underneath the pricing panel in your client's itinerary. To add commission to an already booked reservation, let's say we want to add commission to this one for Dan Miller, I just need to open it, scroll down to the Itinerary Tools panel, click the Modifications tab, and then click Change Component to reopen the itinerary. From there, I can click the Booking Administration button and increase my commission. The Payment Transfers tab allows you to move funds from the master payment reservation to any of the individual reservations in the group. The master payment reservation is also referred to as the parent reservation, and the individual bookings are referred to as child reservations. Note that this doesn't have anything to do with actual children being included on the itineraries. But think of it like a family of reservations with the parent at the top holding all the money and the children below. So if I want to move $100 from the parent reservation to Dan Miller's reservation, I'd add $100 in the transfer amount field and then click Continue. You'll see in the parent reservation that $100 is being transferred, and it says my balance is negative $100 because I don't actually have any money on this example reservation. Keep in mind that I can't transfer money from any of the child bookings back to the parent reservation, nor can I transfer funds between child bookings. You would need to contact your service team to assist with that. Scrolling back up to the top of the dashboard, like I mentioned earlier, all bookings for this group should be made using this reservation tool because it's tied to your group's inventory. Here I'll select the package type my client needs. The destination will be preloaded and the only option available. Travel dates are also preloaded with the applicable dates. I'll enter the number of rooms I need and the number of adults and children. My group ID is already loaded in, and I can choose to add Travel Protection Plus or not. The hotel choice is also listed here. If more than one hotel is contracted, this drop-down would display all options. Then I'll click Search. The itinerary is kept pretty simple. If I click on Hotels to expand the hotel availability screen, this is the only hotel that'll display. If I expand that further and open all the room categories, only the contracted categories will display. Now, if a client wants a room that's sold out of your contracted allotment or is not a contracted category, use the group service request to connect with the group service team to assist. They may be able to do a room swap or obtain the room category the client wants. Now the process of completing a reservation is exactly the same for a contracted group as it is for an FIT booking. Just proceed through checkout and complete your reservation. Once your reservation is booked, it'll display within the Reservations tab, and inventory is real-time adjusted within the Inventory tab. Don't forget that you also have the ability to export your reservation information into a convenient Excel spreadsheet if needed. Let's look at one more scenario before we wrap up. And let's say that Mark has a booked hotel-only reservation, but he's decided he needs to add air. About 80% of contracted groups are hotel-only because they're typically booked so far in advance that air isn't available yet. Flights are typically released about 310 days out and only about 180 days out for Southwest Air, so it's oftentimes not available until many reservations in the group have already been booked. We can add air to an individual reservation as long as the entire group hasn't booked yet. I'll just click on the reservation number to open the reservation. Then I'll scroll down to the Itinerary Tools panel and click on the Modifications tab. Here I'll click Add Air to expand the panels. I'll select the new package type that includes flight plus hotel and select my departure city. From here, I can search through all available published or bulk air options, select flights, and complete checkout. If your entire group is already booked, then you would need to use the group service request to get air added. A link to that request is right on your dashboard. Using this online form is the fastest way to get your request actioned. In this case, the form would automatically launch to our air team for fulfillment instead of sitting in the group's team inbox before being forwarded to the air team. With industry-leading technology like this, booking and managing your contracted group is a cinch. Remember, if you ever have questions about your contracted group, you're always welcome to reach out to your dedicated service team. And if you ever get stuck, we have lots of step-by-step guides available in our self-help library.
Okay. Next. Select all that apply. Select the ways you can navigate to your group's dashboard and VAX. From the group's link at the top of your brand's website, from the self-help library and VAX, from the existing reservation link at the top of each page in VAX, from the link in the pricing panel of each group reservation. Anybody still there?
I believe it's all of them.
Okay.
Oh, it's not all of them.
All right.
Then all but the self-help.
All but the self-help library. Okay, we'll try that. Correct. The dashboard is completely unique to your group and is built in VAX within a couple of days after your contract is signed and deposit is received. True or false?
I believe that one's true.
Correct. You have the ability to set your own commission for your individual child bookings. True or false?
Isn't that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Click or tap the link in the image where you would submit requests such as adding air to a contracted group. Okay.
Okay, go up. Wait, not too far. Go down, 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 down. You're almost there. Down, right there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Last one. Hope it's not the dreaded final exam. Expert tips for closing sales. This one's long.
Hi everyone, I'm Jim Tedesco, Vice President of Sales here at Appalachia Group Vacations, coming to you from Dreams Onyx, Punta Cana. Here at ALGV, we understand that the role of the travel advisor has changed throughout the years. For some of you, you're new to the industry. For others, you've been doing this just as long as we have. But we all recognize that the travel advisor is a vital and important part of the vacation planning process. We need to continue to evolve, we need to continue to change, and we need to continue to work together to make sure that the consumers that we all work with remember and recognize why they come to a travel advisor. Now, I could give you plenty of pieces of advice, but the number one piece of advice that I love to share with the travel advisor community is that to grow your business, work with a BDM. I have a fantastic team across the United States dedicated to growing your business, not just with us, but in general, because your success is our success. If there is anything my team can do, please reach out, share your strategies with us. We will share our strategies with you, and hopefully together we can find synergies to grow the business mutually and make sure that the consumers remember to use a travel advisor. Now, I mentioned my BDM team, so without further ado, let me introduce you to them. They all have some great pieces of advice to help you grow your business, and I'm excited for them to all share it with you. Take a look.
Hello, my name is Shelley Williams, and I am the Business Development Manager for the state of Kansas, Nebraska, and the city of Kansas City. I have not been with ALG very long. I started with the company in August, but I come with 30 years background in the travel industry. And in the agency that I was with prior to joining the ALG team, I was one of the leisure trainers. So I've got some tips today that I think may help you when qualifying with your client. So we're all conditioned on asking, what is your budget? And I think that's a pretty fair question that we can ask clients, but we know that a lot of times clients aren't going to give us a truthful answer to that because they're afraid we're going to come back with exactly that price point and they may miss out on a sale. So one of the questions that I would recommend asking your future travelers is, where did you go on your last vacation? That will give you a better idea of what their budget was because you are likely to be familiar with what that value would be. And then also ask, what did you like best about the trip? And what's the one thing that you would change? These are really good questions to ask when you are building the proposal to send over to the client. So you can use some of these answers in responding to them with the options that you found. Like, let's say one of the issues they had is they didn't like having to make reservations for all the restaurants the day they arrived. And I understand that. So you can use this as a way to respond to your clients on what they may find best for their dining. So you could say, with Secrets and Dreams Resorts, you're not required to make reservations in advance. A lot of people really like that, and that's a benefit that you can help the client with. The other thing I would suggest is building that relationship with your client. It's all about relationships. So when you can take notes on specific dates, that's great. If you know when their anniversary is, or maybe you know when that big 40th birthday is. And then what you can do is also come up with a travel bucket list for them. Like, let's say Turks and Caicos is their end all be all. That's the vacation they're dreaming for, but yet they don't quite have the budget for it. And we all know if you're going to go to Turks and Caicos, you're going to have a budget, and you're going to have to prepare for it. So what I would like to do when I was an advisor is I would say, okay, I see that you've got your 50th, maybe your 50th birthday is coming up and you've dreamed of going to Turks and Caicos. Let's look at it. Let's build towards that and let's see what we can find. Anytime you find a promotion, like let's say you find a $200 or $300 savings, pass that on to your client, but also remind them that you found that. Be sure to include that in your quote. I did 2 hours of work on this and I found this great option for you to Turks and Caicos. I know your 40th birthday is coming up. So with this promotion, I was able to save you $300 off the booking. Claim it, make it yours, and pass that savings on to your client.
Hi, I'm Heather Hendricks, the Regional Sales Director for the East Coast. I think one of the easiest ways to close a sale is to include Travel Protection Plus. You might say something like, the booking I made for you includes travel protection. That allows you the most flexibility to change your dates, destination, or cancel for any reason if needed. This builds trust with the customer and reinforces that you have their vacation investment protected. You're giving them the confidence to commit now, knowing they can make a change later if needed. And don't be afraid to include an excursion and destination, maybe something like a sunset catamaran cruise. Building an itinerary that includes both travel protection and a fun excursion makes your package unique and not something they would be able to price shop for themselves through an online travel site. Protect their vacation and enhance their experience. It's a win-win.
Hello, my name is Tyler Seidel, and I'm a BDM, part of the host segment here within ALG Vacations. And I recommend that you close a sale with the Travel Protection Plus. So advise your clients that you're including ALG Vacations Travel Protection Plus and walk them through those different benefits that's included with both the pre and the during travel part of the travel protection. So advise them that it has cancel for absolutely any reason. It has built-in medical coverage. There's baggage delay, trip interruption, and so many other great benefits. So when closing, close with the TPP included, something like, I'm including travel protection on this package for you. It includes walk through those benefits and then finish the sale by asking for what credit card would you like to put this on? So thanks everybody and happy selling.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy Marion, Senior Business Development Manager with ALG Vacations. I represent Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Northwestern Wisconsin, and Western Iowa. My sales tip for you today is listen to your customer and ask open-ended questions. Questions like where have they traveled before? When they have traveled, what hotels did they like and what did they like about the hotel? What do they like to do on vacation, or what do they like to do just on their leisure at home in their home state? Once you ask the right questions, take the time to listen. When you listen to their answers, then target that vacation package based on the information you have. An example would be, I really like to walk on long beaches with my husband. When you listen to that request from a customer, then you know you're going to set them up to a hotel that has beautiful long beaches so they can walk with their husband. Maybe somebody's a foodie. They love to go to restaurants in their home state, and they love to try different varieties of food. Maybe you target a hotel that has a lot of restaurant options so they can still have that experience and destination on vacation. I'm going to tell you, if you listen to your customer, you ask those open-ended questions, and then target that vacation package to what that customer says to you, I guarantee you're going to close more sales and you're going to meet and exceed your customers' expectations. That's my tip of the day.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy Meyer, ALG Vacations. I am the local rep for Missouri, Northwest Arkansas, and Southern Illinois. So I was a travel agent for 22 years, so this is very dear to my heart on how to close a sale with your client. So I would never start by asking anyone's budget. I would always ask them what they were looking for and their travel interest and what they like to do on vacation. And then I would go into the destinations and help them choose a destination that might fit what they're looking for. And then I would wrap it up with a resort, or I would at least offer them up to 2 or 3 resorts to choose from. And then put the ball in their court to let them choose their destination and their resort. And I would really close the sale by once they made that decision with how excited I was about what they chose and all the things to see and do in that destination. And I would really just share my passion about the destination and perhaps the resort that they chose, because perhaps it had been somewhere that I had been as well. So I was happy to share all those little tips and tricks of the destination, things to do in the area, and possibly pre-booking some excursions as well, and close the sale from there.
Hello, Value Travel Advisors. My name is Erin Miller. I'm one of the BDMs for Host Accounts. I just wanted to give you my special sales tip. So my tip is make sure you guys add excursions onto all the bookings that you make in Vax. So I always say, if you don't pre-add it, they will add it in destination, and then you leave money off the table because remember, you get commission on excursions. So I always recommend all my top travel advisors to please add that onto every booking so it's additional money in your pocket. Thanks so much. That's your tip.
Hi, I'm Mandy Wetzel, the Business Development Manager for Wisconsin and Upper Michigan. My hot sales tip for you is to do a price comparison for your clients that book early versus your ones that like to wait for the last minute or want to wait for the price to go down. A great example is especially for the spring break traveler. Look at your client that booked in October or November for their spring break getaway. They had lots of availability and they have a lot of options available to them. And they're going to be booking early. Then, when the busy season comes around, usually in January, you're going to reprice that identical package again, just to see how the price might have changed, and save that as an example. Finally, when you're getting about 4 weeks away from that final trip, you're going to reprice it again. Look to see if you have the availability that your clients originally had and how that price has changed. I guarantee you, you're going to see some big differences.
Hi, my name is Jen Palka. I'm the Senior BDM for Apple Leisure Group Vacations, covering Pennsylvania and Southern New Jersey. My travel tip for you today is to create a sense of ownership when quoting and in the cycle of the sale with your clients. By using and incorporating words like you and your, and learning the children's names if it's a family, you can talk about how Bryce and Juliet will love the water slides and the lazy river at Dreams Playa Mujeres. When quoting, especially even on social media, you'll find often that I use the words your. Your Dreams Playa Mujeres vacation includes. You're not only personalizing the trip, but you're showing the client that you are handcrafting it just for them. So your vacation package will include a fabulous experience at the spa where you and your husband can relax while Bryce and Juliet are enjoying the Explorers Club. And your vacation package comes with all of the additional amenities and inclusions and exclusive perks that Apple Leisure Group Vacations offers. Personalizing and incorporating those words will help your clients feel a sense of ownership of their vacation. So the next step is simply to close the sale and book their vacation.
Hi, I'm Barb Windish. I'm the Senior Director of Sales for Apple Leisure Group in the Midwest. And a long time ago when I started my career, one of the best tips that I was given on how to upsell a client is go to a car dealership. If you've ever noticed, when you go in to buy a car, the first thing they want to do is show you all of those great cars in the showroom. They have all the bells and whistles on them, probably a leather interior, everything you can imagine. But of course, you walked in knowing that you had a budget and that wasn't what you wanted. But the car dealer they're fantastic. They will sell you every kind of thing you can imagine, but they're going to explain the value behind it and how a year from now, maybe this isn't exactly what you want, but it will be down the road. And they sell you on that value. So as a travel agent, I really do recommend that it's a whole lot easier to start at the top and then kind of figure out exactly what it is that your client truly wants in a vacation. They may tell you they want that lead-in room category. They don't care if they have an ocean view. But I promise you, when they get to that hotel and they can't see the water when they open up the curtains, they're not going to say, well, yeah, I got what I told the agent I wanted. No, they're going to say, I wish my agent would have sold me an ocean view room. So start with that higher room category. Start with those luxury value benefits that you have to offer them. And if they say, you know what, I can't quite spend that much, it's a whole lot easier to start coming down and taking things off. But 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, they're going to buy that higher end value package that you offered them to begin with because they're going to understand why they need to spend a little bit more money. I've seen this time after time with agents who tend to sell what they can afford or what they think the client can afford, and they miss out on opportunities by being able to sell that client something a whole lot more and a much better experience. Because when they come back, they're going to be telling their friends, oh my gosh, my agent got me the best deal. I had this oceanfront room. I had a la carte dining. I had water sports. I had everything that I didn't even know I really wanted, but truly enjoyed. So that's my tip, and I hope it helps you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ben Recap, and I am the Senior Manager of Education and Implementation at ALG Vacations.
And I'm Clint Shire, Manager of Account Implementation for ALGV. We've heard some great tips from our sales team, but Ben, I'm a little confused. We're education, not sales. Why are we here?
They did share some awesome tips. I guess why we're here is to kind of wrap this up with our own final tips. I mean, we spend so much time on trainings and working with advisors. We pretty much know everything there is to know about VACs.
That makes sense. Through all my trainings, I think the #1 tip that I would give an advisor is make sure that you understand our terms and conditions. Clients are very hesitant to buy a package from you when they don't know what happens if you cancel. So knowing what happens with penalties, cancellation fees, deposits, the whole 9 yards is crucial to getting that client from being just a client to being a customer. So use our itineraries that your clients can send, use the footers in the bottom of all of our brand agent stores. Any official document will also have our terms and conditions for clients to look at and understand.
Great advice, Clint. Our team, like I said, does a lot of training, so I really want to encourage you to join us. Knowledge truly is power. So maybe that's joining us on a supplier webinar to learn more about these properties or a feature or another component, or you could join us on a webinar on how to learn everything about VACs, live demos, all of that's included, or you can always join us to find out about your favorite destinations and how to sell them more confidently. Make sure that when you are reaching out to your BDM, you're asking them about fam trips. That's really important because when you experience these destinations, you become much more comfortable selling them. And then, on On top of that, you can always participate in destination with learnings at our annual Ascend conference.
If you don't know who your BDM is, Business Development Manager, you can find it on our BDM Finder. That's at the bottom of all of our brand anchor stores page down in the footer. Just click on your BDM Finder, put in your zip code to find your area. Unless you're a host agency advisor. In that case, scroll down to the bottom of the BDM Finder and look for your host based on the host agency that you belong to.
And if you're stuck and need guidance, then make sure you visit our self-help library at algvacations.com/library. For now, we wish you all the selling success.
All right, so that was it. We finally did it and made it through. Did everyone finish
And
up?
no final exam.
No final. So make sure that you print out your certificate. And I again apologize profusely for my stupid laptop. So, and I have no idea how I'm going to combine two videos to make it into one, but it's got to be a way. So anyway, but we next, hopefully, maybe Marnie will be somewhere where she will be able to have good Wi-Fi by next Wednesday when we meet again. And I'm not sure exactly what class is next Wednesday, but we'll find out in just a sec. All right, come on over here. Wednesday will be the 14th. It will be Malia Hotels. So we can, we'll be doing that one on the 14th. So hope everyone has a good rest of your weekend. And we'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good weekend.
All righty.
You too. Bye.
You're very welcome.
And Elijah, I'll be sending that to you shortly.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.